So it's easy to go down the rabbit hole. I mean, it's something that can happen to anybody, whether you are someone who really has a true passion for fragrances and the scent and the creativity behind each of them, or maybe you are just a collector by nature and you're into a lot of different hobbies, and it's easy for you to get into a hobby where you're down the rabbit hole and you're spending a lot of money. I mean, it can happen to all of us. I mean, this back here, this is only a small section of what's currently in my collection. And all of this here is very unnecessary, right? You don't need all of this to have a good collection. I mean, if I didn't have this channel, I would not have this. And that's just the truth, right? You know, no one needs this much cologne. You're only seeing 2 shelves here. There's 3 more shelves below, and there's a whole shelf over here, and there's fragrances on the floor. I have fragrances on the floor. I mean, that's ridiculous. You don't need this much. So realistically, you could get away with 10 fragrances at the maximum to have an amazing collection, and that's what we're going to be going over today. If you could only choose 10, these right here would be some must-haves to build up a super solid collection that would separate you from basically everyone else. I will link all of these fragrances down below to Discounter, so you can check them out, pick them up there. Really, you can get all of these at a price below retail for the most part, some more than others, but it's always nice to be able to save at least a little bit of money. And again, the whole goal here is to have a nice selection of fragrances that are versatile. So we have everything from summer to spring to fall to winter, but also daytime office up into evening, date night fragrances, right? We have a nice combination here. So realistically, if you had nothing in your collection, you could pick up all of these right here, these 10, and you would be set up for every single situation. That was kind of the whole goal behind this video. So let's get into it. So first up, we have Artisan XX by John Varvatos. So, the brand, I guess, is bankrupt. At least that's what we've heard, but they're still releasing fragrances, so I'm still going to include them, right? You can buy this stuff, and realistically, it's a really, really good scent. It's one of their best releases within the past couple of years easily. They've gone down a rabbit hole, which I don't think has been that great, but this one here is really, really nice. And it kind of, in a way, goes back to the original John Varvatos roots, where they were releasing Artisan and Artisan Pure and Artisan Aqua and all of those good ones. Bitter orange, pepper, and vetiver are just a few of the main notes. It's really all about the vetiver. It's their take on the vetiver fragrance. It's clean, it's soapy, it's kind of spicy and fresh, a little bit fruity, and it smells fantastic. Huge fan of this one. And as soon as I got this one in and I smelled it, I knew that there was something special behind this one. It's not anything that's basic. It's not anything that is really overly special either, but it's a little bit of a unique take on a vetiver fragrance, and I think it's really, really good for the price. Smells fantastic, super clean, super fresh. It's a nice spring and early summertime scent. Very versatile. So next up, we're going over to a date night scent. So when it comes down to having 10 fragrances to build an entire collection, you're going to need to start thinking about a date night scent, an evening out scent, something along those lines. And for me, there's always 2 on the designer side that I go to all the time, and I will always go to these 2. And for me, I will always say that these 2 fragrances are the best for a date for men on the designer side. La Nuit de l'Homme and also Dolce & Gabbana the One EDP. So for this particular video, I'm choosing the One, but realistically, if you like the La Nuit de l'Homme better, you could substitute that one in instead. Do realize that La Nuit de l'Homme is a little bit more expensive, but this one here, for me, is one of the best date night fragrances for men ever created. Designer, niche, whatever. One of the best. I don't care if it's popular. I don't care if everyone wears it. One of the best date fragrances, and I do think you need it. It's got tobacco, it's got amber, it's got cardamom and ginger, so it's warm and spicy, inviting, sexy, very masculine, very modern, kind of trendy. It's an absolute beauty of a scent. Whether you have 1 or 2 bottles, or even if you have a couple 100 bottles or more, I think it's easy to see the complexity and the uniqueness and just how special this one is. It's an amazing date night fragrance, one of the best ever, and one that you need to have if you're building up kind of a small collection. So from cooler weather date night fragrance, we're going to move over to a warm weather, casual, and playful summertime scent from RASASI. This one is HAWAS. So this one has plum, bergamot, ambergris, watery notes. Very fruity, fun, fresh, and playful. You can get this one for about as low as $40 for 100 milliliters online, which is a ridiculous steal. On a lot of places, this one's going for 70, 80 plus. Sometimes you can get it for a bit lower. I will link it down below to where you can get it for about 43, I believe. And at that price, I mean, it is an absolute no-brainer. You shouldn't even think about it. You should literally add it to your cart and purchase it at that price and just be happy with it. So if you've smelled Invictus Aqua before, you have smelled this. And what's funny is this actually came out before Invictus Aqua. So Invictus Aqua 2016 is when that one was announced in the frosted glass bottle, a beloved summer fragrance. This right here, RASASI HAWAS, was released in 2015. So you can see that this was actually before Invictus Aqua. So while that fragrance was getting hyped up and, oh, it's the best thing ever, this one already existed. And when you compare this to the 2018 in production version of Invictus Aqua, this one tastes the cake and is better by 10 times over. I can confidently say that I would recommend you to not buy Invictus Aqua 2018 and instead buy this one. If you shop the link down below, it's more affordable, it's stronger, longer lasting, better performing. Quality is even a little bit better, and just the scent overall is much more refined. This is one of the best summer fragrance DNAs ever created for men, hands down. Back to a winter fragrance, we have Le Male Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. This is kind of their newest flanker here. This one's got cardamom, it's got lavender, has vanilla. It's kind of a hybrid between Ultra Male and the original Le Male. So kind of right in the middle. So it has that strong sweetness from Ultra Male, right, the vanilla. But it also has that clean kind of lavender vanilla smell from the original. But then on top of that, it has this oriental feel from the cardamom, the oriental notes. It's kind of what's going on here. It's a really nice flanker. For people who don't like Ultra Male because it's too sweet, you may want to try this one out, because while it is still sweet, it does have that spicy balance, nice lavender in here. It's kind of balanced out, and it's a little bit refreshed, right? I just think that this one is better suited for people who maybe don't want something that's overly sweet. It's more versatile all around. And while Ultra Male is a great compliment getter, I would say that Le Male Le Parfum is probably, I don't know, I guess maybe a little bit more mass appealing in terms of the wearer themselves. So you guys watching the video, I think a lot of you would probably get along with this one better than Ultra Male, just because Ultra Male is so sweet. If you're into big sweet fragrances, check that one out. But for a lot of you who are maybe even just getting started out, Le Parfum may be the way to go for you. So when it comes to building a collection, having only 10 fragrances, you got to throw in a blue fragrance, right? It's a must-have, whether you love them or hate them. And so for this one here, Sauvage Eau de Parfum is going to be the blue fragrance that I'm choosing for this one. Now, you could have gone Dylan Blue, you could have gone Aqua Atlantique, you could have gone Bleu de Chanel, you could have gone Ferragamo Acqua Senziale Blue, right? There are tons of blue fragrances. I don't need to read them off to you, even though I just did. But for this video, you know, Sauvage EDP is getting the love. Nice pressurized atomizer. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can literally see the scent molecules just flying through the air. It's always fun to see these bright lights shining at me. You can just see everything. This room's gonna smell like Sauvage for 5 days now. But that's alright, you know, it's got bergamot, it's got ambroxan, it's got black pepper, lavender, strong, kind of sharp, spicy a little bit, but also fizzy and uplifting. So the difference between the EDT and the EDP is that the EDP, or the EDT rather, is very sharp, very vibrant, very citrusy. The EDP is a little bit more smooth, a little bit more well-rounded, that sort of thing. The EDT of Sauvage will always be one of my favorites. I've made some great memories with that one in the summertime. But the EDP is more smooth, is more well-rounded, and it's also a really, really good performer. So all things considered, the EDP kind of is a more well-rounded fragrance. And if you're just choosing 10, I would go with this one. Let's go back to a wintertime scent, one that's kind of fun and playful. You already hear that, so you know it's going to be something from this line. And of course, it is the SPICEBOMB line. And then going with Infrared, the newest flanker. This one's got red fruits, it's got cinnamon, tobacco. I love it. I really, really do. You know, SPICEBOMB EDT is one that I will always have a lot of love for. Just a great fragrance. But, you know, the Infrared flanker here has really been winning me over because of that red fruits note. So it gives it a little bit of this fruitiness, obviously, right? It's kind of what I'm saying here. And it's different in a way. It's unique. It's a nice, modernized, refreshed take on SPICEBOMB. You know, at the end of the day, they can't release SPICEBOMB again. If they were to take that same DNA and put it into a flanker and not change anything, that would be ridiculous. You can't do that, right? So they have to tweak it a little bit. And I think that this modification here really brings this scent back to life. I do still think that there is life left in SPICEBOMB, and this kind of proves, you know, of course there's Extreme, which is amazing. There's the Night Visions, which go in a completely different direction, but this DNA still has a lot of life left in it, and I think Infrared really captures that. It's great for winter time. It's a good performer. If you limit your sprays and you're smart about it, you could even wear it on a date. I mean, this stuff here is amazing, and the more I smell it, the more I love it. Next up, from Hugo Boss, we have Selection. Musk, pink pepper, and grapefruit are a few of the main notes here. So this one I believe is about $25 on discounters and is amazing. Fresh, clean, aromatic, a little bit spicy of course, but it's super wearable, super versatile. This is going to be kind of your all-around signature scent, kind of like your Dumb Reach. So, you know, you have SPICEBOMB Infrared, you have RASASI HAWAS, right? Those are kind of extreme in a way. HAWAS is very, very fruity, very, very ambroxan heavy, very watery, summertime oriented. Whereas SPICEBOMB Infrared is wintertime oriented, very, very playful, that sort of thing. If there's a day where you're not in the mood for either of those extremes, you would go for something like this. It's kind of like your filler fragrance, your Dumb Reach. For me, I really, really enjoy it. You know, it's very versatile, very wearable. It's very affordable as well. The quality is good, and believe it or not, it is kind of unique. It's not just your typical fresh, musky fragrance that smells basic. There is some character behind this one. From one Hugo Boss fragrance to another, we're going to go to Hugo Boss Reversed. So I almost forgot this one because I don't actually have my bottle with me right now. I sent this one off with my girlfriend to her workplace so some of her co-workers could sample this one out and smell it. So I don't have my bottle to show, but you know, it's Hugo Boss Reversed, the canteen style bottle, white with HUGO written in front of it, but reversed. So on camera it probably looks right, but in person it doesn't. Hugo Boss Reversed, you guys have seen it before. Grapefruit, rosemary, and vetiver are some of the main notes. Has a little bit of an Elysium smell to it. Now, this is something that I discovered back in the day. You can go back on my channel, I don't know, 2018? Yeah, maybe not, actually. 2019, I don't know. Time is flying, I really don't know. But I discovered this one in the summertime. I've reviewed it, I've put it in videos, and I said that it smelled, you know, similar to Elysium. And so that got hyped up, and then started getting some feedback from some other reviewers out there and saying that it doesn't smell anything like Elysium at all, and that it's kind of a stretch. And you know, to each their own. And now it's kind of coming full circle again to where now people are saying that it is an Elysium alternative. So just remember where that came from. Elysium, a little bit similar, right? The vetiver, the grapefruit, that kind of thing is kind of where it comes from. And I've said that since the beginning. And so because it got hyped up by me, it was kind of dumped on in the beginning. Now it's coming full circle. You can get it for about $40, 100 ml. It's a fantastic pickup. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's one of the best Hugo Boss fragrances in the canteen style bottle that you can purchase. Hugo Boss Iced, the original, Hugo Boss Man, you know, all of those, they're nice, but Reversed by far has the most character, and it's kind of a diamond in the rough. If you were to smell that one and compare it to all of the other canteen style bottles, you would think that this one is above the pack by a good amount. It's versatile, it's a great compliment getter, it's one of my girlfriend's favorites. She's liked it ever since I first got it, and I was featuring it in videos, and she still likes it now, and she was the one that thought of it when recommending it to some coworkers so they could kind of pick some stuff out for their boyfriends. Alright, Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum is kind of where we're going to next. It's got vanilla, it's got iris, black pepper. It is a warm, creamy, and sexy scent that I also really, really like a lot. Now, this one fits into a category of a few different fragrances: DIOR Homme Intense, Valentino Uomo Intense, and Gentleman EDP. That's kind of the three. That's the trio of sweet iris fragrances. Out of those, this one's going to be the most versatile, the most mass-pleasing. So if you don't want to be too daring, this is kind of what you go for. It'd be great for a date night, great for winter time, even great for casual in a way. It's an amazing scent that I do think is a great entry level into iris of the sweeter variety. And last up, we have a scent that is going to be best suited for the hottest of summer days. So there have been times, especially here where I live, where humidity is 100% or some craziness. Temperatures 90 plus degrees. It's sunny outside. That's basically middle of July into August, right? Miserable, but I still love it. I still love summertime. Even when it's that miserable, I would take that over, 19 degrees in the wintertime. But it's still crazy. And during that time, I'm usually not thinking of a fragrance, right? I'm like, okay, it's so hot, I don't even care. But if I were to choose one, this is what I would choose, okay? This is what it would be, right here, okay? Can you see the bubbles? It's DIOR Homme Cologne. Throw this bottle in your freezer. It's hot outside, it's summertime, you grab this out of your freezer, it's cold, it's frosty, the bottle's even frosted up, and you apply it, and it's refreshing. That's what this one's all about. It's got bergamot, it's got grapefruit blossom, it's got musk, smells fantastic. I love this stuff. I mean, it's been a staple in my collection ever since the beginning. This is my third bottle. It's ridiculous. I've got, 200, 400, wait a minute, 200 mils, 400 mils, over 500 milliliters of this stuff, if I'm doing the math right, 200 mils, yeah, 525, 515 milliliters. I don't know how much I wore out of my original. Over 500 milliliters of this fragrance. That's ridiculous. I don't need that much. I could literally just sit here and I could spray this on myself in the summertime all day and still have enough to last forever, basically. It's kind of how it is. I mean, you saw those sprays and look at how much is still left. So if you invest in a 200 milliliter bottle of this stuff, you can go ham on the trigger in the summertime and smell amazing. I don't care that it's not an 8-hour fragrance. I don't care that it's not a beast mode strong Baccarat Rouge 540 performing fragrance. You just saw those sprays. This is a brand new bottle. And look at how much is left. I mean, I don't want to hear it about performance. I don't want to hear it. Look at that. Still filled up to the top. Okay? So please buy this stuff and don't stress out that the performance isn't 24 hours long. The fragrance gets the job done, and it actually performs better when it's hot outside. Believe it or not. So wait until spring, summertime comes around, get some heat on it, and it actually performs not half bad. One of the best for the hot summer days. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. That is 10 fragrances that I would choose if you were to build up a collection and only have 10 to choose from. So, if you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of having 1,000 bottles, piled up on the wall behind you, or even 50 at 100, these 10 would have you covered for every single situation. I will link them down below so you can buy them at a discount. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.